Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Bondage Gone Wild with me, Jess Wild. Today I'm giving you 3 ways in which you can kinkify your Christmas, or Christmasify your kink, whichever one you prefer. For each scenario, I'll be telling you exactly what you need to try it at home. Some bits you can find on the Lovehoney website, other things you might get for Christmas, or they might be bits and pieces you can find lying around your house. I'll also give you a few ideas for what you can actually do once you've got all these props lined up. Of course, you can add your own bits and pieces and obviously customize it to your experience level. These are just some ideas to get the ball rolling. So, game number 1 is naughty or nice. So for this game, you are going to need a Santa outfit, some rope, a list, and you'll also need to prepare some rewards and punishments. So these might include things like a sexy massage, in which case you might like to prepare some massage oil, or it could be something less sexy, like maybe you reward them with an early Christmas present, and maybe a punishment is they have to wait an extra day and they have to wait till Boxing Day. Or if you want to be really mean, you can tell them that as a punishment you're going to sit them next to your mother, the kids, Grandpa Steve at the dinner table, whichever relative they like least. Now, this game is great for couples who really enjoy building anticipation. So you can actually build this either the day before play, the week before play. Basically, you can eke this out as long as you want to. And depending on how they do is going to result in whether or not they get punished or rewarded. So this can be a list of almost anything. So some ideas include housework, wrapping all the presents in a time limit. They have to do a good job though. Treating you like a king or queen. They can run you baths every night, massage your feet, cook you dinner. Or a couple of really festive fun ones that I've come up with are make them write all the Christmas cards and make them do it in their best handwriting. You judge it before it goes out and, you get all your Christmas cards sent out and it's kind of fun, kinky foreplay. Another one is a great game that I've actually pinched from Jimmy Fallon, Word Sneak. Absolutely fantastic game. If you haven't seen it, it's so much fun. Basically, you have to sneak a word in amongst conversation without the other person noticing. And the way you can make this really fun is to make it kind of naughty. So make your partner slip some innuendos and double entendres in amongst the Christmas dinner, and if nobody notices, they did a good job. And if other relatives do happen to notice the little word sneak there, well, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's going to be lots of laughter. Just for God's sake, don't choke on your dinner. I hope you know the Heimlich. So when it comes to the moment when you're actually going to play and decide whether your partner gets rewarded or punished, this is what you need to do. Your partner is going to give you back the list, and you're going to work your way down the list one by one, deciding how they fared on each task. This is where the rope comes in. Take your rope and you're going to restrain your lover. Now, this can be as simple or as complex as you wish. If you're really unsure of what to do with rope, my best advice would be to use bondage tape instead. Bondage tape is like this, really easy to use and won't tie in knots. I know I've called this game naughty or nice, but really we don't want any tricky knots, so bear that in mind when you're playing. So restrain your lover however you desire. A really simple one is just to go for their wrists or attach them to the corners of the bed, however you want to play. Once you've got your partner suitably restrained, you're going to check your list. And check it twice to see how they've fared on each task. My recommendation is to judge each task individually. So if they did number 1 great, they get a reward. If they did the second one pretty rubbish, well, I guess they're getting a punishment. And so on and so forth. Work your way down the list, and this is effectively going to guide you through your kinky evening and set the tone for what's going to happen next. A couple of my favourite ideas for rewards and punishments include massaging with a hot massage candle. That makes a great reward. Or some palm spanks for punishment. And seeing as we're playing Christmassy, really you ought to bend them over your knee. You are wearing a Santa outfit after all. Game number 2 is cream of the crop. For this game, you'll need a crop, some restraints, a blindfold, and some Irish cream. No, that's not an innuendo. It's literally a drink. Unfortunately, I don't have any Irish cream knocking around my set today, but I'm sure you're all aware of the popular one that gets given quite often at Christmas. If you've got any of this lying around, it's perfect. But of course, if you're not a fan of Irish cream, you can replace this with another thick, liquidy, pleasant substance. A favourite of mine is honey. If you choose not to use Irish cream on ice and you do go for something like honey, I do recommend you also have some separate ice cubes, as this game involves quite a lot of temperature play. Now, this game is particularly great for couples who obviously like Irish cream, but anyone who's a fan of food in the bedroom or enjoys bringing food into foreplay. This is also great for couples who love lots of skin contact and playing around with different sensations. To play, blindfold and bind your lover. Something like the Teased by Lovehoney blindfold is a perfect choice. It's really pretty and silky, and as you can see, it kind of goes with the whole festive theme, and it's really great for blocking out light because it's posable and it's not intimidating. So if this is something that's new to you, this is a great choice, but of course you can use any blindfold you like. Some simple restraints are all you'll need, just something to bind wrists and or ankles. I recommend things that do it with simple ties like buckles and Velcro, like these ones, but in all honesty, anything that's going to bind their wrists and ankles safely will do the job. Now, as you may have imagined by the inclusion of a crop, this game is going to involve some spanking. So you need to get your submissive partner into the perfect position. And my best advice is to get them to bend over. So whether they are on all fours or you get them to bend over the edge of the sofa or the side of the bed, however is comfortable, but puts them in a rears up type of position. Start by warming up their haunches, their butt, their thut with simple strokes. You can use feather ticklers or any other bits and pieces you like. Even just hand-on skin contact is great at this point. We're basically just trying to draw the blood to the area. Once they're ready, this is when you can bring in the crop. So aim for the sweet spots. Now these include the bum cheeks, backs of the thighs, which can be a bit stingy, so only aim for that if you're sort of experienced in this, and the thut. So this is where your butt cheek meets your thigh, that sort of magic little spot just in between where you get that sort of under-bum cleavage. Now, you guys know how you like to play, but of course for all these games, set up a safe word so that if things do get a bit intense, you can stop if you need to. But effectively, we're going to sort of tap and slap and spank this area to draw more blood to the surface. We want to make this area really, really sensitive. Once the bum is a nice pink rosy colour, this is when we're going to bring in our Irish cream and ice. And basically this is where you freestyle. So pour the Irish cream over your partner. Not only is it going to feel amazing for them, it's quite a visual delight to watch this creamy substance moving over their curves. And of course, you're going to lick it up. So make sure you get a really good lick on that. Make sure you taste it all. It's going to feel amazing. And for contrast, bring in that ice. Stroke your partner's skin. It's going to be a really amazing contrast between the heat of spanking, the smoothness of the cream, and then that cold, hard sensation of ice. It's a real delight to the skin that's going to keep your blindfolded partner guessing as to what's happening next. Now, of course, you can use the Irish cream and ice almost anywhere on your partner's body, so you're not limited to a spanking pose, but do bear in mind that any crop play should be kept below the hips, so don't be using it above the waist, on the front of the body, anything like that. Watch my spanking video, how to spank, if you need some more advice on that. For anyone out there who's not into spanking but likes the idea of introducing a little bit of Irish cream and ice to play, there are other ways you can use these objects and still make it really festive and fun. A couple of ideas include popping those ice cubes in your mouth before oral sex. The temperature change will be a really fun surprise for your partner. Or you take control of your own pleasure. Use the Irish cream and pour it over your own body to guide your lover's lips. Basically, you're telling them exactly where you want them to lick you with the magic of cream. And game number 3 is Silent Night. For this game, you'll need a gag, a blindfold, you'll need some sensory tools, so things like a feather tickler, a pinwheel, a flogger, and anything else you can think of that makes an interesting sensation on the skin. Other sensory tools you might like to include that are more likely to be found around the house include a sprig of holly or a piece of your Christmas tree, pointy Christmas tree decorations like icicles, tinsel, and the like. You can use your imagination for this bit. Now, Silent Night is a great game for any couples who've got relatives staying over Christmas and you particularly need play to be quiet. Basically, we don't want relatives getting in the way of your kinky fun, but I'm sure your relatives don't want to be waking up to your kinky fun. So this game is really simple. Basically, you're going to request that your partner wears some form of gag. Now, I haven't done a video on gags, so I'm going to quickly show you 3 styles that are amazing for beginners. So the first kind are these really small ball gags. As you can see, it's a really tiny little ball on this, fits inside the mouth, so it's going to silence your partner without sort of stretching that jaw. So this is great for newbies. Another great option for similar reasons is a bit gag. As you can see, rather than sitting inside the mouth, this sits actually across the mouth instead. So it still has that effect. It actually gives your partner something to sort of bite down on if they want to. But again, it's not stretching the jaw. So for anybody who's new to gag play, this is a great option. And finally, there are, of course, breathable ball gags. So basically, this has got a larger ball, so it does give that mouth stretch if that's something that you like, but it doesn't get in the way of breathing in any way at all. It's got these breathable holes, so it's a great in-betweeny if you're not quite used to ball gag play. Of course, if you're already a ball gag aficionado, you've probably already got one in your toy box, so go with whatever you know. So once your partner is bound and gagged, your job is to pleasure them, and their job is to stay quiet. This might sound simple, but depending on what you're going to be doing in the bedroom, it might be more difficult than you think. My top tips for getting the most out of this game are to build anticipation as you go. So start slow, start with the simple things like feather ticklers, stroking their skin, massage oils, anything like that, and build your way up, becoming more and more intense and or increasingly pleasurable as you go through. If you know things that particularly get your partner off, make sure you bring those in. And let's see if you can make them orgasm whilst they've got a ball gag in their mouth. I think it's going to be kind of difficult for them to stay quiet, but that's part of the fun. It feels cheeky and naughty, and you know, who doesn't love a bit of cheeky naughtiness? And if you want to turn your silent night into a holy night, I definitely recommend you bring some penetrative toys into play. So whatever you enjoy, whether that's butt plugs or dildos, vibrators, however you want to play, basically. We're just aiming for top level pleasure with bottom level noise here. That's the goal. So there you have it. Those are 3 festive fetish scenarios to get you through the Christmas period. Have you got any suggestions for how you can tweak these ideas? Or maybe you've already got a kinky plan for Christmas. I'd love to hear it. Please do get involved in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There's a Lovehoney heart floating around here somewhere. Click on that and it'll keep you up to date to our regular Sexpert vlogs. We post 4 every week, so make sure you tune in on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays for something new from one of us. And that's it from me. So I will see you next week, and don't forget, Santa's always watching you, so be good people.